Welcome to Ace My Exams Learning. Let us get started with today's learning.
Life Orientation Grade 10. Question. Evaluate the effectiveness of using peer support groups as a strategy for promoting responsible sexual decision-making among teenagers. Peer support groups' approach is often designed to provide young people with a space where they can explore sensitive topics, express concerns, and learn from each other in a supportive environment. The effectiveness of such groups depends on several positive and negative factors, as outlined below. Firstly, peer support groups are effective because they create a safe space for teenagers to share experiences and ask questions without fear of judgment. In many cases, teenagers feel silenced in environments where adults dominate conversations, but among their peers, they are more likely to open up about sensitive issues. This safe environment fosters openness, and when young people talk freely, it gives them opportunities to clarify doubts and gain reassurance that their struggles are not unique. Such supportive conditions help reduce feelings of isolation, allowing them to approach sexual decision-making with more confidence. Another important strength lies in the fact that teenagers often feel more comfortable opening to peers who understand their challenges, which encourages honest conversations and learning from one another. Unlike formal teaching settings, peer groups allow teens to speak in their own language and address issues directly linked to their lives. For instance, hearing about a friend's real experience of resisting peer pressure may be more impactful than hearing a lecture from a teacher. This authenticity helps them absorb lessons in ways that feel relevant and relatable, contributing to healthier decision-making. Despite these benefits, peer support groups are not without challenges. A key concern is that peer groups can sometimes spread misinformation if not guided by a knowledgeable adult or facilitator. Teenagers may rely on stories, opinions, or half-truths that circulate within their groups. If such spaces lack oversight, harmful or misleading information may gain credibility simply because it comes from trusted peers. This highlights the importance of structured guidance to ensure that factual, evidence-based knowledge supports discussions. The danger becomes more evident when considering that without accurate information or proper guidance, teens may unknowingly share myths or harmful advice, which can lead to poor decision-making. For example, misconceptions about contraception or sexually transmitted infections could encourage risky behavior instead of preventing it. The peer group, therefore, works best when paired with trained facilitators or access to reliable information sources to counter misinformation. On a more positive side, peer groups also play a role in building resilience. Peer support groups can empower teenagers to resist peer pressure by reinforcing positive norms and values. When group discussions highlight the benefits of responsible behavior, young people internalize these messages and use them as support when faced with real-life pressures. This collective reinforcement strengthens their ability to say no when pressured to engage in unsafe or unwanted activities. Closely linked to this, when teens see others making responsible choices, they are more likely to feel confident doing the same, especially in the face of media or social pressure. Observing peers who act responsibly becomes a form of modeling, showing that it is possible to prioritize health and self-respect even in difficult social contexts. For example, when group members openly celebrate safe practices, such as delaying sexual activity or using protection, it normalizes these behaviors and reduces the stigma associated with them. However, the influence of group dynamics is not always positive. Group dynamics may lead to conformity, where individuals feel pressured to agree with the majority even if it goes against their values. This kind of peer influence can be dangerous when the majority opinion in the group does not align with responsible decision-making. A teenager who wishes to abstain may, for instance, feel reluctant to voice their choice if others express more permissive attitudes. This undermines the individual's ability to act in line with personal beliefs. Finally, the issue of self-expression highlights another limitation. Some teens may suppress their true feelings or questions to fit in, which can prevent them from making decisions that are right for them personally. This tendency to hold back undermines the purpose of the group, as the supportive environment loses its authenticity when not everyone feels comfortable being honest. As a result, decisions made under such conditions may not truly reflect an individual's values or readiness, leading to negative long-term consequences. Life Orientation Grade 10. Question. Discuss how self-awareness influences the choices teenagers make about sexuality. When examining the influence of self-awareness on teenagers' decisions regarding sexuality, it becomes clear that the ability to understand oneself plays a central role in guiding actions and shaping behavior. Self-awareness not only involves knowing one's values and emotions, but also helps teenagers to make choices that are confident, healthy, and aligned with their sense of identity. One way that self-awareness supports teenagers is by helping them recognize their personal values and beliefs about sexuality. Adolescence is a stage where individuals are exposed to many opinions, cultural expectations, and media influences. Without a strong sense of personal values, it becomes easy to be swayed by outside pressures. However, when young people are grounded in what they believe is right or meaningful, they can approach sexual decisions from a position of clarity. This grounding makes it easier to filter through conflicting influences and remain true to what matters most to them. As part of this process, when teenagers understand what they believe is right or important, they are more likely to make decisions that align with their values. For instance, a teenager who values abstinence or safe practices is more likely to stick to those commitments, even in the face of social pressure. Making decisions in line with values also provides a sense of consistency and integrity, as actions reflect personal beliefs. This reduces confusion and ensures that the decisions they make feel authentic rather than forced. The ability to remain aligned with personal values often results in more confident and responsible choices, reducing the chances of regret or risky behavior. Teenagers who lack self-awareness may engage in actions they later question or regret, especially when decisions are made hastily or under external influence. In contrast, those who reflect on their values before making choices tend to experience greater confidence in their decisions. This confidence promotes responsibility, helping them avoid harmful patterns such as unprotected sex or situations where they may feel pressured. In addition to values, self-awareness allows teenagers to identify and manage their emotions in situations involving sexual decision-making. Emotional control is important because sexual situations often come with excitement, fear, curiosity, or pressure. A self-aware teenager can recognize these emotions and consider how they may affect choices. By doing so, they prevent emotions from taking over and are able to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Another strength of self-awareness is that it gives teenagers the ability to pause and reflect. Teenagers can pause and think before acting, which helps them avoid impulsive or harmful decisions. This step of reflection acts as a safeguard against making choices in the heat of the moment that may compromise their health or well-being. For example, before engaging in risky behavior, a teenager who is self-aware may step back and ask whether the decision truly aligns with their values and future goals. This moment of reflection can be the difference between regret and empowerment. Finally, the practice of being self-aware ensures that they are more likely to set healthy boundaries and communicate clearly in relationships, promoting emotional and physical well-being. Boundaries are a key aspect of sexual health, as they define what a person is comfortable with and protect them from unwanted situations. Self-awareness makes it possible for teenagers to not only know their limits, but also express them confidently in relationships. This communication strengthens mutual respect and reduces misunderstandings, which contributes to healthier and safer relationships overall. In conclusion, self-awareness deeply shapes the way teenagers handle decisions about sexuality. By clarifying values, aligning actions with beliefs, building confidence, regulating emotions, encouraging thoughtful reflection, and enabling clear communication, it equips young people to make responsible and empowering choices. Life Orientation Grade 10. Question. Critically discuss how teenagers can apply effectively strategies to assist in making responsible decisions in relation to sexuality and lifestyle choices. Teenagers often face pressures and uncertainties when it comes to sexuality and lifestyle decisions, which can have long-term consequences for their health, education, and personal development. To deal with these challenges responsibly, they can apply effective strategies that guide their thinking and support them in making choices that are safe, informed, and future-oriented. The first strategy that can be applied effectively is goal setting as a guide for decisions about sexuality and lifestyle. When teenagers set clear personal, academic, and future goals, they are able to reflect on whether certain choices align with or threaten those goals. For instance, if their goal is to complete their studies successfully and pursue a career, they can think carefully about whether engaging in risky sexual behavior could disrupt those plans. Having a clear vision of what they want to achieve allows them to remain focused and avoid distractions or behaviors that could negatively affect their future. In this way, goal setting helps them apply discipline in decision-making, giving them the ability to resist peer pressure and prioritize what matters most. By consistently aligning their actions with their ambitions, teenagers are more likely to make responsible, future-oriented decisions that protect their health, education, and personal growth. Another effective strategy that teenagers can apply is seeking support from trusted adults or professionals when facing difficult decisions. Applying this strategy means turning to reliable sources such as parents, teachers, counselors, or healthcare providers who can offer accurate information and emotional guidance. Since teenagers often encounter confusion and pressure from peers or misleading media messages, this guidance ensures they make informed choices based on facts rather than myths. For example, instead of relying on friends for advice about contraception, speaking to a healthcare provider allows them to gain medically accurate knowledge and greater confidence in their decisions. Having such trusted support equips teenagers to make safe, respectful, and well-informed decisions about their sexuality and lifestyle, which reduces the risk of harm, mistakes, or regret. Therefore, teenagers can apply goal setting and support seeking as strategies to strengthen their ability to make responsible decisions about sexuality and lifestyle choices. Goal setting helps them focus on long-term ambitions and avoid risky behaviors, while seeking guidance ensures they base their decisions on accurate information and trusted support. Question. Identify examples of respecting diversity in a school environment. Respecting diversity in a school environment is important because it ensures that every learner feels valued, included, and treated fairly. Schools that embrace diversity create a supportive atmosphere where learners from different backgrounds can learn and grow together. There are several practical ways in which respect for diversity can be demonstrated daily. 1. Using inclusive and respectful language. One way schools can show respect for diversity is by using inclusive and respectful language. When learners and teachers communicate politely and avoid offensive or exclusionary words, it helps create an environment where everyone feels accepted. For example, calling learners by their correct names and avoiding stereotypes in classroom discussions reflects respect. Using language that uplifts others encourages unity and mutual understanding among learners. 2. Avoiding discrimination or bullying. Respecting diversity also means actively avoiding discrimination or bullying. Learners should not be teased or treated unfairly because of their race, gender, religion, or ability. Schools can promote this by teaching tolerance and enforcing strict anti-bullying policies. By addressing harmful actions quickly, schools create safer spaces where learners can participate without fear of being excluded or mistreated. 3. Including different cultures, genders, and abilities. Another example is including different cultures, genders, and abilities in school activities. When school events, sports, or academic activities represent everyone, learners feel valued regardless of their background. For instance, allowing learners with physical disabilities to participate in adapted sports shows inclusivity. Representation ensures that diversity is not just acknowledged, but actively embraced in daily school life. 4. Celebrating cultural and religious events. Respecting diversity can also be seen when schools are celebrating different cultural and religious events at school. This might include hosting Heritage Day, Eid celebrations, or traditional music festivals where learners can share their culture with others. Such celebrations teach learners to appreciate traditions different from their own, fostering understanding and acceptance across the school community. 5. Providing equal opportunities in sports and activities. Fairness is promoted when schools are committed to providing equal opportunities for boys and girls in sports and activities. Both genders should be encouraged to explore any activity without stereotypes holding them back. For example, girls should be supported to play soccer, while boys should be allowed to take part in cultural dance groups if they choose. Equal opportunities promote gender equality and ensure learners make choices freely. 6. Allowing identity expression. Diversity is also respected when schools allow learners to express themselves, such as by allowing learners to express their identity through acceptable clothing and hairstyles. This shows recognition of cultural and personal identity. For instance, traditional hairstyles or modest clothing worn for religious reasons should be respected. Such practices affirm individuality while ensuring school rules are still observed. 7. Addressing discrimination fairly. Finally, schools show respect for diversity by addressing discriminatory behavior immediately and fairly. When a learner faces prejudice or harassment, teachers and leaders should intervene without delay. Taking quick and fair action ensures that harmful behavior does not continue and learners feel protected. This builds trust in the school's commitment to equality and respect.
To access more learning and exam preparation materials, go to www.acemyexams.coza. This link is also in the video description below. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to subscribe and be the first to know when we upload new videos.